Steelers 23, Bills 10. They're back, guy. They've won 3 out of 5. Back in the playoff race.
2 games out of the wild card race, behind the Jets, who they already beat. Nobody circles the wagons like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You can't come into Heinz Field and push this team around. Well, to be honest, there were a couple of encouraging things to come out of the game. It was just generally kind of a dog game, though, wouldn't you say? From the atmosphere, 5,000 fans missing, and a couple teams with losing records. They started slow. It was a bad first quarter.
Of all the great, insightful things that I tweeted during the game, I got the most reaction to the one about halfway through the second quarter that this would have been a better day to stay home and rake leaves. Everybody agreed.
Yeah, well, they needed to win no matter how they came up with it. Well, unless you're one of those who believe they were better to lose and get a better draft pick next year because they're not going anywhere this year. But
especially with Jacksonville winning, they could have been one step closer to even.
It's true.
Having maybe the second pick.
Pretty clear they wanted to go back to fundamentals. I thought the Trib's cover shot on the sports section, back to basics. It's about right. Back to basics on defense, back to the running game on offense.
They run the first 3 plays, I think, or 3 of the
5
first
straight
4.
officially.
Yeah. And moved the ball, too, and didn't get into trouble until they started putting it in the air. I don't think there is such a thing as an ugly win in professional sports, period. You win, but especially if you're 2-6 and have been playing the way they are. You'll take what you can get there. There were some encouraging signs, especially in the second half. And I think defensively, look, Buffalo only had 3 wins, but as we pointed out last week, Buffalo had played very well against some teams that had beaten the Steelers. I think, myself, the biggest play of the game that could have made things differently, and I do not buy into points are points whenever you get them. I think when things happen in football games, really, why in the world they went to the fade at the 1-yard line, Buffalo, after the interception. They get down to the 1-yard line.
Testing Ike Taylor.
This is one of the best running teams in the league. They go to the fade. They end up kicking a field goal. If they go up 7-0 there, I think it just changes the entire complexion of the game. They feel better about themselves. You heard what the attitude was in Buffalo last week. If you listened to John when he drove up to Canada, he was listening to their talk shows. The Steelers don't scare anybody anymore. This is the time to beat them. And, early on they kind of wimped out, took a field goal, and never really smelled the end zone again until, under a minute to play in the game.
Steelers took away the big plays. They tried to take away Stevie Johnson, did a pretty good job of that. Rookie quarterback. Be a different story next week with Detroit.
Not only a rookie quarterback, but a rookie quarterback that hadn't played a game since early October. He's been out for over a month with an injury. So rookie and rusty equals Steelers win.
A lot of hubbub before the game. We had Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network on with us last Thursday. We were asking him questions about the Steelers' future, changes maybe. Roethlisberger, would they consider trading him? He really didn't want to engage in that. He very much engaged in that Sunday morning on the NFL Network.
Yeah, I have 2 things, Ken. He's so much. In fact, when we got off of there, I almost felt like, are we goofy for talking about this? Is that stupid of an idea that maybe we shouldn't even have thrown it out there? So what I wonder is, we plant a seed in his head? Did he start investigating then, thinking about writing a column and found some stuff out that he ran with? Or did he really have that in mind and was like, oh my God, these guys found out my secret? I'm not convinced of which way it went, but based on his reaction, I tend to lean toward, I think we planted a seed in his head.
He said to me that he had known some of that stuff but didn't have it nailed down, and quite honestly was a little surprised we were asking him about it and that it was out there last week. But regardless, do you believe any of it? I
believe somebody called the Steelers and inquired about Ben last year, and that could have happened any year. Does that mean they fielded? There's a difference in fielding an offer and someone calling and saying, hey, we're looking for a quarterback. Ben wouldn't be available, would it? And laughing it off. I mean,
Like, I called a lot of girls for dates in high school. Does that mean they fielded the offer? They entertained?
Ken who? Are you that one that carries the slide rule on you? No, I'm washing my hair.
Would Ben seek a trade? I mean, he vehemently denied that, and
I say no.
But I do believe the Steelers this year, because of the salary cap situation and record, may consider trading him.
Right. We talked about this on, that's exactly what I said when we talked about it on Pittsburgh Pulse on Channel 4 last night. That if you were there yesterday, he denied that so vehemently and seemed so passionate his response. There's no way he's going to request a trade. And I think a lot depends on how if they finish miserably, if they have another 2-6 half here and do have one of the top 4-5 picks, then I think they would consider taking a franchise quarterback. You could free up salary cap room, maybe get a couple of number 1 draft picks, and I think you could turn this team completely around in, 18 months. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. I think a lot depends on what happens. But the fact that how many times Ben said after the game that he shuts his cell phone off when he gets to the stadium. He doesn't have any idea what's going on in the outside world, so he didn't know this was happening. His agent answered for him. In the middle of the game, the Steelers put out a statement.
They were spooked by it.
So it was a fast and furious response from all sides denying it, which makes me think that, if there was a little more fire where the smoke was, that wouldn't have happened.
Steelers are smoking. They are 3-6. Guy Junker, Ken Laird, StribLive.com.